You made it. This is the last session. Welcome to session number 12. This should go fairly quickly. And session 12, we're talking about tying up loose ends. What's the other stuff you may have to really think about? Okay, card titles. Card titles. A lot of times in most states, you'll need something that's similar to what's called a power of attorney to transfer a motor vehicle. So in other words, again, if you got awarded, one of the cars, you got awarded, the 2015 Toyota Camry, right? There is usually an affidavit that your ex will sign and say that you have power of attorney to transfer that vehicle to your own name. And so, that's usually the way that goes. So think about what you need to do to transfer car titles or transfer other property that you were awarded or you were given in the divorce. Bank accounts. This I found was unusual. Now, we talked about bank accounts before. It has to say in the final papers, or it's good practice for you to put in, the dates that, he either account has to be closed or that he has to get his name off of your account. Sometimes in order to do that, in order for him to remove or close an account, some banks want you guys to be there at the same time to close an account. And the reason for that is, they're trying to guard against fraud and people just coming in and identity theft and all of that stuff. And I found that a couple of the larger banks, which will remain nameless, had asked my client and her ex to come down and close an account together, and I had to arrange it. Can my client come in 30 minutes before you have her ex come in? Just make sure you're seeing the same person, the same, banking official or banking employee. So that way the banking employee knows what's going on. He knows that the account has to be closed, but you guys don't necessarily want to be doing that at the same time. In the same place together. So, if one of you comes in 30 minutes before the other one, just make sure you bring your ID and a copy. Usually they want to see a copy of the divorce papers. That's usually all that you need. I just thought that was unusual. So I'm going to make sure that I mentioned that to you. Orders relating to the division of retirement accounts get signed by the judge. It's usually 30 days after the divorce is final. You need to make sure that you're within that 30-day window that you get all of the orders relating to how the retirement accounts are going to get divided. You have to have all those things signed by the judge. Exchange of any other property, house keys, garage door openers, important documents like the deed to your house or the certificate of title to your car, whatever it is. You want to make sure that, again, you have a date as to when all that stuff is done. If the guys are set to have your mediation, the end of February 2019, you guys come to an agreement at that time. You can say, okay, 30 days from now, so end of March 2019, is the day where we'll exchange the garage door openers, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Top of page 45, the sale or the transfer of your house. Okay, usually the document that transfers from one owner to another is called a special warranty deed. It may say something very similar to that in the state that you live in, but again, we're using Texas as an example. In Texas, it's called a special warranty deed. That is the document that transfers the house from one owner to another. And the special warranty deed, they like that particular document because there is essentially underneath there, it says a promise to help defend against anyone who claims to have an interest in your house or in your property. So, if there is some distant cousin that said, your mom says that, the house that you inherited during your marriage, or the house, whatever, there's some guy, before you own the house, said, back in 1945, he was supposed to get, 20% of the house, and then the other person, sold it to you, and you're like, okay, what does that look like? A special warranty deed is just guarding against anybody who says, for whatever reason, that they somehow had a claim in your house. And so the same thing, banks like to see, okay, so, if the two of you and your husband are going to be selling or transferring from one person to another, they want to see that you know, whoever is leaving the house is still going to be under an obligation to defend against anyone else who has claims against the interest of the house. And that really rolls into number 2, which is some people say, oh, I'll just use usually a quit claim deed. It usually isn't good enough because some title companies have a problem with it, just for the very reason I just stated. The quit claim deed does not have a promise to defend against anyone else. It just says, you know what, whatever interest I have, you know, here it is, it's yours. And that's all really a quit claim deed does. It is Number 3, deed. The deed gets filed with the county clerk's office in the county where the property is located. And there's usually a fee for this. So, you know, if the house that you bought is in, you know, Wise County, Texas, when everything is said and done, let's say you've had mediation and you know they agreed that you get the house, you know, you'll say within, you know, 30 days of this mediation agreement, you know, your ex has to deliver to you a copy of a special warranty deed. Then you would go ahead and file it with the county clerk's office. Okay? Oh, we got through it. Oh my goodness. You did an awesome job. That's the end. That's session 12. Just know that at any time you can watch any one of these videos again, or you can watch all of them again. What I would really suggest that you do is, since you have this wonderful workbook, that you go ahead and it really is a very quick and easy guide for you to say, okay, you know, when did she talk about, you know, mediation? Oh yeah, that was session 9. And, you know, I was wondering about, you know, is mediation private? You know, what did she say about the mediator? I forgot. That way you don't have to necessarily go back and watch the entire video again. The mediation video was the longest one. You can just go ahead and see what I said about mediators and do it very quickly, very efficiently. So, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you got everything that you hoped for out of this course, and I wish you all the best for the future. Take care.